everybody. We're speaking today with Tara Gentile. She is a coach and an author. Her most recent book is The Art of Earning, which is really cool. And after going through your website, I'm very anxious to talk to you about that whole conversation. That sounded very interesting. We're talking to Tara today. She'll be speaking at the WISE Symposium, which is on April 3rd, 2012, at the On Center in Syracuse, New York. And we're very excited about this year's WISE Symposium. It is the 10th anniversary of the WISE Symposium and is an incredibly wonderful event for women entrepreneurs. So Tara, I appreciate your time speaking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Have you ever been to the WISE conference before?
I have not. This will be my first time. I'm very excited.
Oh, you're in for a real treat. It's a very powerful event. I spoke there last year and was just blown away. They expect over 1,200 women, so it'll be pretty powerful and pretty cool.
Fantastic.
Hey, I was digging through your website, and I was really impressed with your conversation and your focus on women owners and kind of why we get into business. And kind of where we get stuck. So tell me a little bit about your unique perspective on coaching and guiding women into the business conversation.
Sure. So I do work almost exclusively with women. I think there's a big trend towards women in entrepreneurship, whether it's starting companies, like we think of companies, or whether it's just women starting, micro businesses where it's just them and their computer and their kitchen. We're really seeing that as being the main big trend in entrepreneurship. And so the vast majority of people I serve are women, and they have a very unique perspective on what it takes to build a thriving business. Now, that perspective also can get them in trouble. So what is that perspective? They're all about service. Women want to be in service to other people. They are really, really focused on, or we are really focused on how we can be of service, how we can bring out the best in other people, whether it's making jewelry or social media marketing or writing or life coaching. Women just want to bring out the best in other people. The problem, of course, comes in that it's really hard to charge for that kind of work when that's how you see what you do. And so that's kind of where the art of earning kind of came from, because I wanted to show women and everyone really that building a business that makes people's lives better doesn't negate the fact that you need to earn from your business too. You need to make money, because the only way you can sustain that type of work is if you are being sustained as well. And of course, the easiest way to sustain yourself is to bring in the money that you need to live a comfortable life. And so we have to see these things kind of come hand in hand instead of being separated by our own kind of assumptions. So that's one of the big ways that I serve women entrepreneurs, and also, kind of how I see their unique skills and their unique talents also being slightly damaging to their ability to run a thriving business.
I love the statement on your website that says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I thought that is so true. There's a lot of truths there that we don't really think about. And then all of a sudden, you bring them to surface and talk about them and massage them, and suddenly they have a huge impact.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it is from a book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And that book really kind of changed my perspective on what it means to communicate about my business and how I can help other people communicate about their businesses. We want, as consumers, especially in this day and age, especially in this economy, to feel like we have a shared purpose with the people that we are doing business with. So when I spend my hard-earned money on something that you've created or on a service that you're offering, I want to feel like we're in this together.
Yeah.
And so starting with why, having that purpose, that shared mission, gives me that feeling that I'm not only buying what you're offering, but I'm buying into you and how you want to change the world, how you want to help me live a better life.
Right.
And it makes it so much easier to make that buying decision.
It really does. And it's interesting. I've been in sales 15 years now, maybe 20. Don't want to give away my age, but dating myself. And people, I've always been very, very successful in sales, but I've always been very passionate about the value of the product I've delivered. And people always said to me, oh, you could sell ice to an Eskimo. And I said, no, I can't. I can't sell anything that I don't believe in. Like if I don't feel it in my core, I can't sell it to you. There's no authenticity to it. So I think that's one of the reasons why I am good at what I do is because I absolutely believe in anything that I sell. But I can't sell ice to an Eskimo unless I really believe the Eskimo needs the ice.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the products that we sell or the services that we sell are really just a real manifestation of that purpose, of those values that we have. And when you can identify that and when you see them as one and the same, yeah, it's so much easier to sell something. It's so much easier to market something. It's so much easier to ask for help, promoting it and getting the word out. Everything becomes easier when you can really identify that core nugget of why you're doing what you're doing.
That's so cool. So tell me, how did you end up here? What does your career path look like that brought you to being so smart?
Oh, my career path is so weird. I have a bachelor's degree in religion. And interestingly enough, I was on course to start a master's program at Syracuse in religion.
Wow.
And the week before I was supposed to leave, I was like, this is not for me, or I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I like to say I got bit by the conventional life bug. I thought, I really need to take a step back and get a job with a paycheck. And so I took a full-time job at the job that had been my summer job, with a now bankrupt bookstore, if that tells you where. And I worked for 5 years in just bookstore management, retail, all that kind of good stuff. And I learned a lot really about how a good business is run and about how a bad business is run and how a passion-driven business is run, because you won't find more passionate people than book lovers, right?
Right.
So I really kind of got to know what forces moved transactions, what forces moved commerce, even if they weren't always happening on the ground. Then I got married, had a daughter, and I left that job because I just desperately wanted to stay home with my little girl. And long story short, instead of returning to the work world, I said, I want to make my own work. I want to know that I'm always living up to my full potential, that I'm always working to the extent of my capabilities and pushing myself all the time. And so that's why I started my business. It's evolved a lot since the very, very beginning.
Sure.
But I feel like I've really hit my stride now, in the 3 years since my business has started. And, I'm excited about where it's going from here.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the WISE Symposium. Why do you think events like the WISE Symposium are so important to women entrepreneurs?
Oh, women entrepreneurs feel isolated. If there is one thing I hear over and over again from clients and readers and just people I talk to at other events, it's, I feel so isolated at home. I feel like no one gets me, like no one understands, like no one can, as much as they can try to provide comfort, they can't really empathize with my situation.
Right.
And so big events, little events, anytime you can get in a room with people who get it, with other women entrepreneurs, you feel witnessed, you feel noticed, you feel like you are not the only person on the planet that has these problems and that has these questions. And just being in that atmosphere and feeling that sense of connection allows you to make big strides, regardless of the information being delivered, which is always top notch. But you move forward a lot faster because you feel, again, like you have a shared purpose with other people.
Right.
It's all about that sense of connection, right? So for me, that's why events like this have been important to me. And for the people I serve, that's why I hear events like this are important.
That's awesome. Well, I really look forward to meeting you at WISE Symposium. It's an incredible event. There will be over 1,200 women at this event, so it's a pretty powerful thing. And you've been to the On Center, obviously, at Syracuse, so it's a phenomenal facility for it, and I really look forward to meeting you.
Awesome.
So Wrapping up now with Tara Gentile. She's gonna be speaking at the WISE Symposium 2012 at Syracuse On Center in Syracuse, New York, on April 3rd, 2012. And for tickets and information, go to wiseconference.com. That's wiseconference.com. Thank you.
Thank you.